Welcome class 9. So here we are with part 2 of Socialism in Europe and the Russian Revolution. In this part of the video we are going to learn about the Russian Revolution, the Russian Empire, economy, workers and peasants. The Russian Revolution. Russia, which was one of the least industrialized European states, the situation was completely different as compared to the other European areas. Socialists took over the government in Russia through the October Revolution of 1917, the fall of monarchy in February 1917, and the events of October are normally called the Russian Revolution. But how did this happen? What were the social and political conditions? We will learn further. The Russian Empire. In 1914, Tsar Nicholas II ruled Russia and its empire. Here we have a picture. In this picture, you can see there is a gentleman who is standing. This person is Tsar Nicholas II. As we use the term king, in the same way we use the term Tsar in Russia. Besides territory around Moscow, the Russian Empire included current-day Finland, Latvia, Lithuania, Estonia, parts of Poland, Ukraine, and Belarus. It stretched to the Pacific and comprised today's Central Asian states as well as Georgia, Armenia, and Azerbaijan. The majority religion was Russian Orthodox Christianity, but the empire also included Catholics, Protestants, Muslims, and Buddhists. Economy. So in the beginning of the 20th century, the vast majority of Russia's people were agriculturists. As we can see here, about 85% of the Russian Empire's population earned their living from agriculture only. So as compared to other countries, other nations like in France and Germany, the proportion of the people who were earning their livelihood through agriculture were 40% and 50% respectively. In the empire, Russian Empire, cultivators produced for the market as well as for their own needs, and Russia was a major exporter of grain too. Industry, which was found in pockets. Prominent industrial areas were St. Petersburg and Moscow. Craftsmen undertook much of the production, but large factories do existed alongside craft workshops. There were many factories which were set up in the 1890s when Russia's railway network was extended and foreign investment in the industry increased. As you remember, in our last video, we learned that how the expansion of railway and industrialization were directly proportional. Both of them will increase together. Coal production doubled and iron and steel output quadrupled. By the 1900s, in some areas, factory workers and craftsmen were almost equal in number. Now, mostly industries were the private property of industrialists. Government supervised large factories to ensure minimum wages and limited hours of work, but factory inspectors could not prevent rules being broken. Still, in craft units, the small workshop, the working day was sometimes of 15 hours as compared with 10 or 12 hours in the factories, and the accommodation was varying from rooms to dormitories. Workers. Workers were a divided social group. They were divided on various bases. Main bases were the location from they were linked to. Like some had strong links with the villages, others had settled in cities permanently. They were also divided by skills. Like metal workers who needed more skill, they considered themselves aristocrats among other workers because they required more training. Women made up 31% of the factory labor force by 1914, but they were paid less than men. Divisions among workers showed themselves in dress and manners too. Some workers formed associations also to help members in times of unemployment or financial hardship, but such associations were very few. Despite divisions, workers did unite. to strike work when they disagreed with employers about dismissals or work conditions. These strikes took place frequently in textile industry during 1896, 1897 and in the metal industry during 1902. Peasants. In the countryside, peasants cultivated most of the land, but just like France, here also the nobility, the crown, and the Orthodox Church owned large properties. Like workers, peasants too were divided. They were also deeply religious, but except in a few cases, they had no respect for the nobility. Here, nobles got their power and position through their services to the Tsar, not through local popularity. This was unlike France, where during the French Revolution in Brittany we saw that peasants respected nobles and fought for them. While here in Russia, the peasants wanted the land of the nobles to be given to them, and for having that land, frequently they refused to pay rent and even murdered the landlords. In 1902, this sort of murder events were common and were occurring on a large scale in South Russia. And in 1905, such incidents took place all over Russia. So there was something different about Russian peasants. They pooled their land together periodically and their commune, mir, that is society, divided it according to the needs of the individual families. So we are discussing till here only in this video. Further we'll see in the next video. Till then, thank you.